welcome back. Shout out to the wolves, salute to my ninjas. I'm feeling myself right now, cause I've run into this woman that I recently started saying hi to. We're more talkative very shortly, right? And I noticed, like, she was limping the other day. So we're having the old talk, and, hope you feel better. And I ain't seen her in a couple days, and I seen her today, and she had a brace on her leg. And I'm like, oh, see, I knew it. When I first seen her, I was like, oh, she reminds me of me. And I don't know how I feel in be knowing these things. Oh yeah, I forgot. Empathy and actually knowing yourself so you can see that look on people's face, and you've had that look on your face. So you can see. You already know the story. So I'm like, oh, it finally caught up with you? You went to the doctors like you was talking about? She said, yeah. I have 2 fractured bones in my foot. I said, what? I said, see, I told you when I seen you that day, didn't I tell you was one of the toughest women I ever seen? Because you're so small, and I see you limping, and I know it's probably because you work really fucking hard, and you're an older woman with grandchildren. And, she was like, yeah, she's telling me her story. And she's like, yeah, I was working for UPS and I got hurt because, it's a hard job. And I was like, my mind was blown because my wolves and my ninjas, if you've been here long enough, that's my story of how I got injured up in Pennsylvania. I was working for fucking UPS and hurt my back. And the descent into thinking you're tough and you don't need help. And you just keep going until, your body sit your ass down and say, you're hurt. So I explained my little story and how I didn't listen, and then I got hemorrhoids on top of a bed, pinched fucking nerve or whatever was wrong with my back. Never really got that looked at, but, might. But then the hemorrhoids got bad, almost died. Finally get surgery, I'm having to rebuild myself and learn how to fucking, get back to the strength that I once had. And that's not an easy thing during your most depressive state and you have nothing. Most people, that's the end of their life right there. Not the end, but that's when they fall off and they're like, I don't give a fuck, who cares, I'm gonna get SSI or something. Like disability checks. And I said, nah, you need to get in shape before you allow yourself to not have the strength that you once had. You don't have broken bones, nah, dog, get your ass up. Use that I won't stop force on your recovery. And it was good to tell her that, because I was right. And I said, I knew it, man. Like, when I seen you, I knew you was more hurt than what it let on. And she was like, yeah. Hey, cut that out. Cut it, hey. Where you at? There you go. There, be nice. Good kitties. There you go, be nice. See you later, kitty. He's about to tear his ass up. That orange cat's about to give it to him. Anyway, it was just good to, run into somebody that actually had a similar story as mine. And, they're like in the beginning stages, they're not actually over it yet. And to be able to let them know, like, don't worry about it. Like, you can be alright, you can get your shit back, you can be back where you need to be, but you need to take your rest. You need to understand you're not invincible. Don't let your good nature and the training of being abused your whole life, always doing extra, always going overboard to do shit, and then when you're fucking injured, nobody's going overboard for you. I said, no, the Lord definitely made me see for a reason. The message of the day for you is, to fight for what's yours, and you've worked hard enough in this life. If you're injured, go get help, because other people can't get help. And when you do get your help, actually relax and let yourself recuperate so you could come back stronger, because we're older now, and this is the time where good people try to go extra. They stay on board and keep their money, and your health is the only thing you have. If you got to downsize, you got to downsize. You got to go without whatever it is. Because when you break whatever the fuck you think you ain't going to break, and you're done, when you're sitting around mad, because I'm bored, I can't go do massage jobs, and, because I don't know, she's retired and just working to, keep up with a little extra in the pocket like a lot of older people have to do. Or, she's got it bad, but I think she's alright. Anyway, so that made me reflect on my personality, and I said, you have so many different sides of you, because the Lord called you to meet all these different people, and this is what you asked for. And this is why most one-sided people, two-sided people, they can't understand you. They can't understand why you're like a fucking nerd. You know all the scientific geeky shit. And that's because the Lord needs me to be able to talk to some of these geeks out here and get them to man the fuck up and get off the science and go lift some fucking dumbbells. Go do some push-ups if you want a girl. Go do some fucking activities and go learn how to be in society, in a community. Stop being trapped off in your room with video games and wondering, why don't I have friends? Because you dress like a fucking an idiot. You talk too damn smart where nobody understands you, and you need an in-between. You don't have to be like the world and become a fucking Jack Alpha. No, be a Sigma. Be a little rough, but be yourself too, because you're adding on. You're not trying to make something up. No, men are men, regardless if you're smart or not. Just like my poetry side and the fucking all this rhyming and learning to learn words and how to, because there's people out there that are better than me, and they need someone to be like, yo, just do it, you're good. They need to see someone that is relentless at doing it, even though they're not going to make it. They're just going to keep getting better at what they're doing now, because they love it, and other people love it, and they're called to inspire and get paid to do this shit. You get it? There's the muses, and there's the motherfuckers that's definitely going to be the ones that get inspired and then go out there and do the thing, Then I said to myself, so that's why the Lord had you grow up in a really bad environment and learn to defend yourself and study all that martial arts a little bit and military tactics and blah, 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 all this Goku, I'm Vegeta's and all of this, right? And I said, yeah, now I understand, because every time you put me around these fake-ass tough guys, or the real tough guys, the killers, you always knew how to respond right. The real killers, you know to show respect, so they show you respect. They don't even see you. They don't even give a fuck about you. You ain't a threat, so they ain't trying to stunt. But the fake-ass thugs and all these niggas that need to get put in a place with the Lord, because you're going down. You're either gonna go down and get yourself locked up, and I'm there to warn you, you fucking dumbasses. You think I'm there to hate on you. You think I'm there to say, hey, no, I'm there to let you know your time's up. You're just a little nigga. And you're going under the bus. So stop before you lose everything and start securing, like, your family that you swear you care about. Or your fucking self. Put something away for when you have to stop. Then actually having to get busy every now and again. Every time I go on a mission, I gotta hurt one of you big ass niggas. And I'm like, oh, so that's why you made me like David. That's why I gotta keep, everywhere I go, that one big guy gotta get made an example. And then everybody goes, oh, okay, if he was willing to go like that, I'm scared of that big guy, so I'm not. So I'm going to just leave him alone, do the I stare at you and I lie on you. But you know to keep your fucking distance, cause, yeah, I'm not a nerd-ass nigga. I'm not no regular-ass, goofy-ass nigga that, I'm just going to go crazy. And no, I'm going to do everything lawfully, you know? Real men got to get busy, too. You know, like cops and fucking, you know? Then... While I studied all of this sexual stuff, like we all study sex, you know, in some way or another, but you just don't really study it. You just hear things. I actually study, like how it scientifically makes the body and mind rejuvenate, and how if it's done properly, you can like really do things that help the mental. Which, if that's helping your physical and your mental, then that means you would somehow be affecting your spirit, right? And then realizing how many women are, you know, in lack. And that's because most men are just, you know, they're taught like cavemen, jump up and jump down. Just like a beast. Just jump on her. You know what I mean? And we're in 2025, like, averagely women should be, like, you know, saying, I've experienced a man that actually was fun to be sleeping with. I mean, since everybody's sleeping with each other, it's like, what the fuck is everybody doing if everybody's just sleeping with each other? Just having bad sex? Like, fuck you wasting your time for? If you gonna sin, nigga, do it right. It makes no sense. I mean, it's like, that's why I'm glad I chose my father. Because I was like, yo, this shit doesn't even make sense. These people are just using wailing, and you don't even, anyway. So that's another side. Like, all these little sides of myself that I thought I was a weirdo. You weird for liking all these different things. Maybe people are right. Maybe you're trying too hard. No. I like a lot of different things in life. All the things, sound the horns, all these things I named actually make people complete. You don't have to like all these things. But my belief is there are only very few people, or maybe there is a lot, that they only like one thing. I only like rap. I only like rock and roll. Nah, there's a lot of people that like music. They like good songs. They like stories. And it doesn't matter, sound the horns. Doesn't matter, you know, what genre is telling your story. You'll like it because it's your story. You're like, yeah, that rap song, yeah, I'm not blinging. But them rock and roll songs, yeah, they sure are talking about some real things that I'm going through, or these love songs, or R&B, or whatever the singing is. You know, like a lot of people only end up expressing themselves or allowing others' expression, which I think that's what's wrong. Sound the horns. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people. Why a lot of people are angry all the time, because you only explore one side of reality. You only look at it one way. So, you know, in the world's view, if you're not an elite, rich person, sound the horns, you should feel like shit. Because you're nothing. You're nobody. In my father's world, you're perfect. And you have a purpose. You know? You're somebody. Sound the horns. You're somebody. So you choose what reality you want to live in. Because, yeah, I'm just a sweeper, but I'm the king of the sweepers in the world. And when it comes to the most high shit, nigga, I'm a king. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. I'm that dude. I don't know all the scriptures, and like I can't quote everything. I live this shit though. Your preacher doesn't live none of this shit. He never had to call on God. He called on the bank, nigga. He ain't never these niggas ain't never lived through the David. They got help. They ain't never had a whole fucking town of people, literally like the Bible says, the prophets hated in his own town, the world gonna hate. Y'all niggas don't know none of that. Y'all don't know what that's like, being out in the field of the Lord, being out here in the field for the Lord. Nah, y'all ain't at the field, y'all in church, dog. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody got their spot, everybody got their place, and everybody should feel happy, even the ones that are in the field. But I know the difference between the world and the Lord's world. In the world, yeah, y'all somebody, yeah. You Creflo, you know? You got the people. You know, you preaching, you teaching. But ain't shit change around where you live. So in the world of the Lord, It don't matter. You just talking, dog. You just talking. Everything the Lord says results in actions and things changing. And he said, no one's going to change the whole world but him. So, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be worrying about changing the whole world and all this. Nah, but what's up with your believers? A lot of niggas believers, followers, they looking fucked up, homie. Niggas can't pay their rent. Niggas struggling mentally. Where y'all at? Oh, you gonna give them some word? Well, I'm gonna give them some therapy and actual scientific things for them to do to go help their mind and their body get right. That also has to, you know, it also, the book says these things, but it doesn't say it like that. But you would know those things if you didn't study that fucking book so hard. You would know to compare science and the book together, you know, because it's truth. You would know because you would have studied the old book and the Lord said, become a scientist, observe the stars, figure out the sound the horns, find out about the world that he put you in. You better learn that place. Shit, it even says if you want to know the Lord's real, study the world around you instead of looking for him, and you'll see that he's real. All praise. So for the hating ass preacher or hating ass church followers that I keep hearing about in my readings that y'all watching and y'all mocking and all that, man, I ain't got no problem with y'all. Just y'all remember, if you walk my shoes, you walk my story, let's see if the Lord will get you out of it. Let's see if you can call on the Lord. Let's see if you'll man up and be David when it's time. I bet you won't. When you gotta starve for days and go without. And all you could do is call the Lord for his energy and his power. I bet you won't. You know why? Because he blessed you with friends and family, nigga. He ain't do you like he did me and bless me with traitors so I can learn to stand on my own and only call him to send people or, you know, make it through the hard times. Shout out to my dad.